Hi people, welcome to another video on the channel, and I am back with the latest instalment of the Nottingham Forest transfer rumour roundup. And today I'm just going to be discussing and informing you of all of the latest transfer rumours that are out there at the moment. So yeah, sit back, relax and enjoy. But before we do, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe if you are in fact new. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So we're going to discuss confirmed deals, or all but confirmed. The first one being a bit of a youth player, Jamie Newton. He's an 18-year-old that's currently at Rangers. I couldn't really find much information about him. I obviously imagine he's going to be coming and he's going to be like a under-23 reserve player, maybe go out on loan. Which I suppose, yeah, planning for the future, not too bad. I know absolutely next to nothing about this guy. So, yeah, I'm not really going to say too much, but the deal looks all but confirmed, apparently. So, yeah, I'm just going to thought I'll put him in the confirmed section just in case he gets confirmed in the next day or so. And there has been some recalling in terms of the loan department. Alex Myton has been recalled by Forest from his loan spell at Kortrijk in Belgium. He made 12 appearances, getting a grand total of 0 goals and 0 assists. It is a shame because it did look like, especially under Chris Hughton, that he was a creative player that was playing well under Chris Hughton, which I didn't think was possible. But, you know, he was showing promise. If that Sheffield Wednesday loan spell went well, then I really do think we would have had a serious prospect. But yeah, unfortunately, he just didn't. You know, Brennan Johnson was playing really well. We have Philip Zinkenagel. You know, when Cooper came in, it didn't. There wasn't really playing with any wingers, so he couldn't really get into the fold. It is a shame. He needs a good loan spell, and unfortunately for him, he's not got that yet. Hopefully, he does get one this January though for him, because I think he's got the ability, he's got the minerals. He just needs the game time, but he's just not got that yet. And the next player that has been recalled is Hwang Yu-jo, which came to a little bit of surprise because I thought he was actually doing quite well at Norwich. But he made 17 league appearances, getting 3 goals and 1 assist, which isn't awful, but you know, it could be better. You know, they have other strikers as well, like Sargent as well at Norwich. So yeah, he's definitely got the ability to be a championship striker. From the glimpses I saw of him, I thought he was a top player. He had good players around him, the likes of Jonathan Rowe and that. But I think he's definitely more than capable to be a championship striker, as he's showing glimpses at Norwich. So I imagine he'll probably be going out on loan or going out on a permanent deal basis. Now, looking at the rumours now, starting with the incomings. Michy Batshuayi. It feels like we're in the championship and talking about Kamil Grosicki. We are linked with this guy every window. And he's, 31 years old, I do believe. So, it depends how you look at it. You can look at it and like, well, he's based the same age as Chris Wood. I personally think we should be looking at a younger striker, because he does have some injury issues similar to Taiwo Awoniyi. So, it does seem a little bit backwards to be signing a player that's aging slightly and has an injury track record. However, looking at his time in Turkey last season, 32 appearances, he only got 20 goals, which isn't bad. I know obviously it's the Turkish league, it's not the most prestigious league in the world. However, it's not awful. However, I do also think there is better alternatives to a striker. I would like a younger striker, a bit fresher in terms of, you know, for fitness purposes. It does seem a little bit strange to be signing a striker that is injury prone when we do have Taiwo, who has had his own injury issues, and Chris Wood, who is slightly aging, even though, you know, he's obviously still prime R9. So, it depends on the price. It would definitely have to be below 5 million if we are going to sign him. I just don't see it happening though. It just seems like a copy and paste of Divock Origi, and that's not really worked, unfortunately. So yeah, that's sort of where I stand on this. I think he's got the ability, he's got the experience. It's just whether he's still up to the pace, up to the speed, and up to the sharpness of the Premier League. And the next player is another striker option. It's Che Adams. Now, we've been linked to this guy in the past when he was at Birmingham, a couple of seasons ago when we got promoted as well. Now, it's an interesting one. I saw the report. It's us and Everton that are interested in him as well. Apparently Southampton want 15 million, which I do think is quite extortionate, seeming so far this season. He's got 8 goals and 2 assists in 25, which isn't, in my opinion, £15 million worthy. However, for a very poor Southampton side, he did get double figures in the Premier League. 10 goals and 3 assists in 35 odd games. Considering how bad Southampton were last season in the Premier League, I don't think that's an awful return. Now, he's not in his 30s either. I believe he's 27 years of age, so I think he wouldn't be an awful signing, but I would not be paying 15 million for him, especially without FFP potential issues, you know, hearing and whatnot. I do think that is something that we've got to keep in the back of our minds. So yeah, I think I don't really want us paying anything, in my opinion, anything more than maybe 7 or 8 million, just purely because we do have 2 strikers. It's just a case of having one just in case Chris Wood gets injured, and I think Chalmers is more than capable. It's the price is going to be the stumbling block. I mentioned that in my 5 players I think we should sign video. The price for a lot of players that we could be signing is going to be the stumbling block because of the financial fair play and all that. The next player is a bit of an interesting one. It's Ivan Algiro, I believe is how you pronounce it. Yeah, he's a Spanish winger. I do not know much about this guy. I didn't hear about him until 10 minutes ago before I was doing the research for this. But yeah, he's currently playing out in Spain for Cardi, where across his career there, his 4-year career, he's made 130 appearances and he scored 4 goals. Now, looking at those stats, it doesn't look very, very promising. Last season, he got 32 appearances, 0 goals and 1 assist. However, looking at his recent form, like his last 4 or 5 games, it does look a little bit better. You know, his performances have been given high match ratings, which, I mean, obviously, I haven't watched any of those games. I'm just basing this on FOTMob match ratings. But he's got 17 appearances and 2 assists so far, but those 2 assists have come in the 5-game period where it looks like he's playing better. Now, obviously, if he can maintain that, then maybe. But he's also 28 years old, which is slightly on the older side. I'd rather stick with faith in Callum Hudson-Odoi over taking this big gamble on him. Depends on the price tag. His market value is about 1.5 million, which, I mean, if we get him for about that isn't terrible, especially for being a Premier League club. I just feel like it's a bit of a strange signing someone who's had over 100 appearances but not even got 5 goals. But, you know, I'm not a big watcher of Spanish football. I've never watched this guy play a single minute. So he could, you know, he could have a lot of potential and a lot of promise and a lot still to give. But right now, I feel like we could do with better options. And there's only one rumoured outgoing, and it's quite a major one. It's Orel Mangala. This came quite a shock to me. I think it was on like Tuesday or Wednesday. He was linked with potentially departing. Now, I'm aware of FFP and all that, and midfield is quite a stacked area in terms of the volume of players that we've got in that position. But it was quite a shock. Napoli, Juventus, Galatasaray, the 3 clubs that are reportedly interested. Now, and reportedly Galatasaray having a bid rejected by us, so it's clear that we're being stubborn. Personally, for me, the bare minimum has to be 25 million quid. I don't think we should be selling someone who's in their mid-20s, 2.5 years left on their contract, and who's been probably our best midfielder so far this season. I don't think we should be selling him for any less than that. And I think anything south of 20 million, I think, is poor business. Signing for about 12.5, I think 25 million, then fair enough. And he's going to be going to playing it for a top team in their respective division. It does baffle me slightly. 18 appearances, 1 goal so far. It's his defensive work that is probably his most key asset. But yeah, I suppose if we have to, and if we can get 25, 30 odd million for him, then you got to bite the bullet and say, all right, fair enough. We need the cash, you know, to balance the books, etc. And out of all the key players that we've got, you can maybe argue he's the more saleable one, which does seem slightly harsh because I think what he's given both to the fans on the pitch, I think has been fantastic, and he will be a huge loss. However, maybe if Nuno's got his eye on another midfielder, then you can maybe somewhat understand that. But it's still going to be a tough loss and a sad loss because of what he's done over the last 2 odd years at the club. But yeah, that is my transfer rumour roundup. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you are in fact new to the channel. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. And I will see you all in the next video. Stay safe. Up the forest.